Hello and welcome to this review on my alternative channel, Anti-War. This is a review of Simpler Times Lager Beer, 6.2% alcohol. Introduced in 2008, brewed in Wisconsin for Trader Joe's stores. Rhinelander Brewing. Well, it says Simpler Times Brewing, but it's really Rhinelander. Also known as Joseph Huber Brewing, also known as Minhas Craft Brewery. Same place. This is the best deal in beer right now because you can get a 12-pack for $6.99. So that's $3.50 6-pack. $17.50 a 30-pack. The cheapest 30-pack I get here is $2 and a penny more. So B Aviation. Hey Ron, how are you doing? I'm fine. Enjoying the nice weather here. Okay, so we get a thick, slightly off-white head of foam and a very dark appearance for a lager. American lager. It's like orange, orange gold, amber. It looks like kind of like Yuengling traditional lager. I don't know why it's that dark, but it is. Now, Schlitz comes close to that, but it's not that dark. And Pabst is close, but it's not that dark. So this is probably the darkest mass-produced regular lager in America, because I think Yuengling tradition would be like a specialty lager, although it's kind of common. I don't know, really. We'd have to line them all up, take a photo and line them all up. Well, I guess you'd want to line them up first, then take the photo. It was 17 degrees here this morning. We're getting freezing rain tonight. Where are you? It was 62 last night here, the coldest, I think, and it's about 80 right now, 81, 80. I would not want to be in that cold. All right. I'm going to keep buying this because I go to Metairie pretty often. I could just keep these in stock. $13.98 for a 24-pack. I can live with that. Not as, and it's a nice looking label, simple for simpler times. Two little hop cones on there. Legit. Oh, I was about to say magician. Oh, I'm good at weeding. Michigan. Oh yeah. Sorry. I've been to Michigan a number of times, many times, but in the summer, you see. I've been to the Upper Peninsula. I did that once. It was nice. This smells like, it smells like I can't describe it. It's some kind of like musty, yeasty, funky monkey, different. It is a lot different than any other American lager beer. First of all, it's 6.2. That's a malt liquor. Although that term is dying away because they're not, either the law is no longer in place or the regulation is probably not really a law, or the regulation is not being enforced. Okay. I don't know, but as it turns out, it doesn't really matter, right? If it's a regulation that's no longer in place or a regulation that's no longer enforced, it's the same result. You can call it beer without calling it malt liquor. But and it says right there, lager beer. Beer, 6.2. There you go. I'm gonna go look at the older label and see if it says beer. So it's a yeasty, almost like a fruity thing, but I don't know what it is. Not that green apple that you get in a lot of inferior lagers. It's amazing here in the summer, but the rest of the year is usually bad. Yeah, I would hate it because Louisiana is too cold for me. Now, if Louisiana's too cold for me, you know I would hate Arkansas. And you know what I think about Michigan. I'd like to live in Miami, but no family's there. I'm not leaving my family. Like some people do, they just leave. Toodaloo, bye family. So long. I don't like to do that, but they don't mind leaving me. I guess they all took off. They used to all live in this town. They all took off. Most are still in the state, but anyway. Plus, I like to go to the games at certain teams. You know, I can get used to it. If I moved to Miami, I could get used to go and see all those teams. I wouldn't like be a big fan. Like, yay! I'd go watch it. Something to watch. You know. Unusual flavor still. Bitterness low. Sweetness. 2 out of 5 sugar cubes. Bitterness, 2.5 out of 5 hop cones. So it's more hoppy than bitter. I mean, oh, my mind's really gone. It's more bitter. It's more bitter than sweet, which is a little strange. I might leave my family soon, but I'm in my early 20s, so haha. Yeah, well, yeah. Young, go out. I never really left anywhere. Body. Medium body. It's not heavy body. Finished, mostly dry. It's an unusual product. Like I say, it's not like green apple like those. Now 10 years ago, this thing was nasty. In 2012, you know, it wasn't too good. It wasn't horrible, but it was really strange. But I know Rhinelander, Joseph Huber, they improved their products quite a bit. Trader Joe's probably told them, look, meaning Aldi, because Aldi owns Trader Joe's, but they probably told them, look, we like it. They used to make one called Name Tag Lager, which was just like a regular American lager. You know what I mean? Like a Busch or Milwaukee, old Milwaukee, but I don't think they make that anymore. I think they were trying to compete with like Milwaukee's Best, but it was pretty grim. And they didn't when they did their improvement, they never brought the. Is there a macro beer that is similar to Simpler Times? 6.2. No, there isn't. This does not taste like a malt liquor. You know, the stereotypical malt liquor with a lot of corn flavor and like that fluffy body, slick mouthfeel, or whatever. There's strangeness with malt liquor has its own idiosyncratic ways. But honestly, this beer is unique. It does not taste like anything else. Now, you may hate it, you might like it, you might be indifferent to it. I just watched a video review. The guys that reviewed it, they liked it. Okay, but they admitted they knew nothing about beer. But then, like my friend Paul says, why do you have to know anything about beer? Right? You taste it. If it tastes good, you say it tastes good. If it tastes so-so, you say it tastes so-so. If it tastes bad, you say it tastes bad. See what I mean? You don't have to know anything about beer to taste something and tell if you like the flavor. Simpler Times Brewing. Now, the old label looked more old-timey, like an old store placard. That's the old label. It had more hop cones on the label. But they updated it a few years ago. Says there, lager beer. Lager beer. So, and this is from 2013. 338th day of 2013. It's got to be. I don't know what number 19 means, but I know I've had this can a long time. I probably got it in Baton Rouge when they opened the Trader Joe's, because they've had one in Baton Rouge longer than here. And, well, longer than there, Metairie. I don't live in Metairie. Oh, well, maybe the new label's nicer. It's a little brighter, whatever. The old label's cool though. But You see, but I don't think that's the date. Because what is this, the third day of 2023? 09? Oh, maybe it's an expiration date for the store. After January 3rd, 2023, they get rid of it. Probably give it a year like shelf life. So it's probably made the third day of 2023. Not too old. But they're never going to stay on the shelf that long anyway. A lot of people buy this product because people that go to Trader Joe's, a lot of them are very careful with their money, let's say, because they got to spend all their money on their Subaru. Yeah, so this is probably Best by the 338th day of 2013. That means it was probably made on the 338th day of 2012. Yeah, okay. Oh, that's all. Oh, so you got that. All right, so probably is when I bought it. Are all beers malt liquors legally? No, they're all malt beverages. But they're not all malt beverages, actually, because some beers are not made with malt. Some beers are made with sugar. Some beers are made with corn syrup only. Some beers are made with cassava root. In other words, you don't have to use barley malt to make a beer. The Tax and Trade Bureau, right? Yeah, you might have misinterpreted it. That's true, because what they say on there is that beer has to be made with barley. It says beer must be made with barley malt and or a substitute such as, and then they name some of the substitutes. Sugar and so forth. So all those seltzer beers that people drink, they say, I'd rather drink a not Red Claw. What you call those things? They were selling them at the baseball game Sunday. A White Claw. They'll say, I'd rather drink a White Claw than a beer. Well, a White Claw is a beer, but they call it a seltzer. But if you look at the can carefully, in a very low profile area, it says flavored beer. But it's a beer made with sugar. Now, a malt beverage has to be made with barley malt. And it must include, in all beers, whether they're malt beverages or not, this is interesting, all beers must include hops to a certain level. It can't just be a trace amount to, say, oh, we threw in 3 hop cones and now it's a beer. No. Now, I'm not saying that the hops have to be bitter. They could be aroma hops, could be hop pellets, hop extract. The Tax and Trade Bureau website is not confusing, and it's not written in a confusing manner. But there's so much information in it, and there's so many qualifying standards, like it has to be this way except for, and so forth. So that's the confusing part. It's not really that it's confusing. I'm in a brewing and distilling class right now. We're learning about that kind of legal stuff. Oh, excellent. They have that at Louisiana State University in Baton Rouge. Fermentation science. And it's all about brewing beer. Mm-hmm. If you look at the brewmasters for Anheuser-Busch, most of them have a master's degree, and many of them, or some of them, have a PhD in biology and food science. Food science. You say, no, wrong, beer is an art. That's more like a science, actually. It's an algorithm. Can have artistic characteristics, but if you want quality control and reliability, you want science. Okay, this beer is good. Not great. Not wonderful. Not fabulous. But for $3.50 a 6-pack, it's okay. In 1997, I could buy a 24 pack of beer for $7.98. Inflation calculator. So if in 1997 I purchased, and in 2022 today it would cost me $14.11. Cumulative rate of inflation 76.8%. Wow. In 2021 it would have been $13.47. In 2012 would have been $11.42. So in 1997 I paid $7.98 for a 24 pack of beer, a suitcase. And now if I paid that same amount converted to our devalued money, it would be $14.11. Yes. $7.98 divided by 4. $1.99 for a 6-pack. And this is $3.50 a 6-pack. And I could get beer for $1.99 a 6-pack in 90. Well, certainly in 96. Yeah, I think the last time I saw a 6-pack of beer for $1.99 was 1996. So let's convert that. Yeah, it converts. So if I'd have bought this 6-pack, well, 12-pack, but if I'd have bought this in 96, it'd have been $3. It'd have been about $2.05. And now it would be $3.60, and I paid $3.50. So it's a pretty good conversion. I'm in brewing and distilling class. Oh yeah, we brewed a wheat beer and a sweet oatmeal stout. Excellent. All right, so how am I gonna score this? I got to do another hangout. I'm telling you, it's unusual. Everything that Rhinelander does is unusual, which I think a lot of people interpret as bad because it's strange. So it's now it used to be bad. 12 years ago it was just bad, you know. But I think I was trying to say that earlier. Trader Joe's must have talked to them and said, "Look, we get too many people complaining about these beers. We get too many returns. People are bringing this stuff back. We got to give them a refund. We lose money, you know. You got to make it better. We know you want to make it cheap. We get that because we're selling it cheap. That's the whole purpose of the project. But it can't taste terrible. Just cannot. You know you don't drink it. You just sell it. You make it." So I think Menhaus, Rhinelander said, "Okay, we'll do a better job, you know." And so they reformatted, and this thing came out a lot better. It's a lot better now. I would like to visit that place. They make so many weird beers. Boxer, Axe Head. Oh, I had about a can of Axe Head. I threw it out because every time I saw the can, it made me think about 2009 when I drank that can. It was so bad. Oh my! But it's probably better now. You see, so the price really hasn't gone up, accounting for inflation. I try to tell people that prices never really go up. It's that the value of the money decreases. Okay. People will say, "Oh, do you know that the minimum wage in 1938, when they started minimum wage, which I don't agree with, but was 25 cents an hour? Just think how much you could have bought for 25 cents an hour. Well, you couldn't have bought much. Because it was just like the same minimum wage now. Or just think how little you could have bought. It's the same relativity. In other words, What I mean is, if you'd have gone to a cafe, let me explain it better. If you'd have gone to a cafe in 1938 to get a meal, okay, you say, I make 25 cents an hour, work 8 hours a day. So look what I'm making a day. In 4 hours to make $1, I make $2 a day. But you could have gotten the whole meal: a hamburger, fries, a little piece of cake, small, and a drink like iced tea for 75 cents. Maybe with a little slice of white bread and butter. Well, today, it would be $9, So it's not that the price went up, it's that the value of the money has declined due to United States government policy. During the 1800s, there was no inflation. All right. And no price changes. So if in 1801, you bought a meal at a diner, right, or whatever they had back then, taverns, a lunch, a dinner. Let's say in 1801 you bought that dinner and it cost you 60 cents. In 1901, it would have cost you 61 cents, maybe 62. Get it? Because money was backed up by gold. And gold keeps its value because gold is a precious metal that has actual value on its own merit. So, but then in 1933, they started to move away from gold toward fiat money. Fiat money means money based on whatever they claim it's worth. But the claim doesn't hold weight because it takes so many more worthless dollars to buy the same product. When quarters were made out of silver in 1938, what I just said, you could buy a whole lunch for 75 cents. You say, no, I wanted a really good lunch, a fancy lunch. Okay, $1, $1.25. Now it's going to cost you $14, 15. So, the better. So it's not that prices have gone up. It's that the value of money has gone down because it's not based on gold. Anyway, enough of that preaching. Is this stuff here good as gold? That's why that expression came from, good as gold. So the price really hasn't gone up, accounting for inflation. Right, exactly. Most Americans don't understand what inflation is. They think it's a rise in prices. No, it's in the inflating. It's the inflating of the money supply. More of something makes it worth less. That's why when back in the 90s, when everybody was buying these baseball cards and everybody was coming out with foil cards, this card, that card, this card, 3D card, and they all were buying like boxes and boxes and boxes. Many of these people were not even baseball fans. I said, you're not going to make any money. Boy, they got angry with me. What are you talking about? I said, well, you're not going to make any money because if everybody's got the same foil baseball card from Upper Deck or whatever the company was, it's not going to be worth anything. Baseball cards are worth something because they're rare. They're not worth something because everybody bought it. And then it crashed, and people are stuck holding worthless paper. Same thing with comic books. People tell me, oh, these comic books are worth so much money. Oh, really? Why would cheap, flimsy magazines be worth money? You know how many people have offered to pay me that big time money for these books in my whole life? Take a guess. But people say, well, the price guide says, the price guide says, who Who pushes the price guide? Oh, the people selling. Go to a comic book store and see how much they're going to give you for these valuable comic books. You're going to be sorely disappointed. Anyway, I bought them because I wanted to read them and I was interested in them, and I didn't pay a lot. I got them when they were cheap, so I didn't pay much. People were like, "Oh, I can't believe you got it so cheap." I said, "Well, I wasn't going to pay a lot." So anyway, but I'm not under any illusions about that. All right, so now we have another hangout coming, and it's going to be about a liqueur. I'm not drinking liquor till Easter Sunday. Do I miss the whiskey and the brandy and the rum and the tequila? Sure, I miss it. If I didn't miss it, it wouldn't be a penance. You know what? Like if you give up something that you don't care about, it's how is it a penance? You know, like how does it help discipline you and make you hopefully learn to do better and whatnot? You know, so of course I miss it, and I'm counting down every day. I got 19 days left. You know, whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna be really excited, God willing, if Easter Sunday comes. If Easter Sunday comes and I can do the Jameson versus the whatever other Irish whiskey I had. Oh yeah, the Black Bush. That's gonna be a blowout. But but liqueurs was not part of it. Neither wine nor beer. I'd be worried about buying gold because you're going to pay a premium and sell at a discount. Exactly. You say, who makes gold seem so? I mean, gold is valuable on its own merits, but you got to remember they're selling it, but they ain't really buying it like they're selling it. You know, it's the same old story, man. Another great beer breakdown. Thank you, B Aviation. Well, we'll be back with well, some people might say questionable liqueur, but I mean, liqueurs are what they are. I mean, they're not questionable. I mean, if you take them too seriously, then nobody's going to take you too seriously. All right. Thank you.